Animals, it's your boy Hype bringing you another video on the Animal Instincts Gaming channel, and I got a 110 kill gameplay video for you guys to watch. But while you watch that, I really didn't want to talk too much about the gameplay. I have a few things that I wanted to talk about with what went wrong with Call of Duty and can it be saved, basically. And I wanted to get my opinion out there on some of the things that went wrong and also get your guys' opinion. What happened with Call of Duty? What went wrong? Where did it go wrong? Because as we all know, it's no secret, there's definitely a decline in people playing the game, views on YouTube, viewers on Twitch, all across the board, all the way down. And I just want to start by saying, you know, a lot of what you're going to hear is just my opinion, my take on it, but the purpose of this video is to just hear some of your guys' thoughts. Because Call of Duty for me used to be one of those games where once you put it in that console, once you put that disc in, it stayed in. Now, it's definitely not. It is definitely not. I've kind of been searching myself, waiting for some other games to drop, you know. There's a few games that have already been out and kind of, you know, certain games, if you haven't played it by now and everybody else has, then it's almost like if you missed that curve, you may end up getting in there and everybody's already good at the game. They already know everything. They have it laid out and mastered, and so you might not end up enjoying it even if it is a good game. So I'm kind of still on the hunt, still on the search, looking for something else. I do play this game and I do enjoy it. Even though a lot of people don't, I do. You know, I think they did a pretty good job on the zombies, even though you only have that one map. Outside of Treyarch zombies, it's one of the better zombies that we've ever had. It's definitely, in my opinion, better than Extinction and better than the Advanced Warfare zombies. They did a pretty good job with the zombies. What happened? Now, if we go to Advanced Warfare, that's when things kind of started to take a change, a turn for me anyway. And that's where jetpacking came in. You know, you're going to have people on both sides of the fence. You know, you have your people who like the jetpacking. You have the players who like the boots on the ground. Me, the jetpacking, it's not game breaking to me. Advanced Warfare, the jetpacking, but then while you're in the sky, the strafing left and right, that was like overkill. That really was for me. But then we go on, like Black Ops 3 basically takes that, perfects it a little bit. They clean it up. You know, the jetpacking isn't so OP, it's not overdone, and then they add the wall run. It gets a little chaotic sometimes when you're shooting at somebody and you got somebody flying up on the sky, and there's just always a way to flank. And a lot of these games, you know, it's about those gun battles, it's about those engagements. It's not about, people just don't want somebody that's got Ghost on or whatever and just going to run around the map, run under the map, wall run, and then come up behind you and get kills, and then when they die, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So I'm sure that's frustrating to a lot of people. But I'm gonna start getting into what really changed things for me and some of the things that I'm not particularly a fan of with the way Call of Duty has been going. And it has nothing to do with jetpacking and the wall running. To me, it doesn't matter either way. I know a lot of pro players, it probably does make a huge difference to them, because like I said, it changes the whole lanes. It changes the whole dynamics of the game, you know, of the competition. So, but for me, a lot of what's going wrong with this, and I'm just going to start off, I'm going to try not to go too far. I can ramble on forever, but I'm just going to hit like 3 or 4 pretty big topics to me, in my opinion. The weapons. You can have 5 SMGs, and I'm just spitting out numbers, 5 SMGs, 5 assault rifles, you know. Now, all of a sudden, for each of these weapons, you got like 10 different variants for the same weapon. What is that? 10 different weapon variants for the same weapon. Instead of doing that, why not just incorporate more weapons? You know, I think that would make a lot more sense and have a lot more people, just more weapons at your disposal. You know, you can change around because you constantly see the same weapons used over and over again, especially in competitive. And why not? Why are they going to use some of these other weapons that are just so subpar when it comes to, you know, like the K-bar, for example. The K-bar, close to mid-range and even long-range shots, is superior. The MV4 is still a viable weapon at range, at a distance, but up close, the K-bar and mid-range, the K-bar will dominate it, especially in the right hands. It will dominate it. So there's really no point in using the MV4 or any other at that point. And why is that? You got so many weapons, but really you only got not even a handful that are worth using. That doesn't make sense to me. That really doesn't make sense to me, which is going to bring me kind of to these two kind of go together. That's the pay to win type of structure that they have going on, where you have all these different weapon variants, but really the only way you can get these weapon variants, some of them you can get with salvage, which yeah, you got to earn up, and you can get a lot of salvage, I guess, throughout playing. If you play and play and play, you can get salvage, but some of them can only be gotten from the packages. Now, I don't know about you, but I can speak for myself on this, that when I open these packets, I get these crates, when I open these crates, I get nothing but duplicates. Majority of the time, duplicates, stuff that I already have. And believe me, I've opened up a ton of crates on this game, so therefore I've gotten a ton of duplicates, which gives you salvage. But like I said, there's a good list of weapons that you cannot get from salvage. Where's the balance in that? So the person with the deepest pockets can have the best weapons. And I get it. I mean, there's a lot of companies that are doing it now. These microtransactions is kind of the wave, the future of gaming. It kind of sucks, really does. I think it needs to be done properly. I would not have a single complaint if you had camos, taunts, and gestures, all that special stuff for microtransactions and stuff like that, you know, because that does not change the dynamics of the game. That does not put anybody at advantage nor disadvantage. But when weapons are involved, that's a whole different playing field, and that's mainly what, you know, people would like. They want a balanced game and equal opportunity. We know that's not going to go away. They're never going to completely do away with these microtransactions, and you know, it's a business. On the business side of things, I understand, I get it. I just hope that they kind of make it a little more balanced. So what else went wrong for me? You know, one of the things that I think kind of just went that changed in Call of Duty was just the maps and the score streaks. Now, I don't know if it's because, you know, all these new advanced movements, the wall running, the double jumping, I don't know if that's what, you know, so much goes into that it kind of takes away from other things. Maybe it will like change how the game runs, because that seems to be really inconsistent, you know, and I know a lot of that has to do with connection. It's a connection-based game, but sometimes it still seems like even if you got a good connection, like there's just a lot of little like frame drops, frame rate issues or whatever from time to time. Not all the time, but that's where inconsistency comes into play. Now, it seems to me that a lot of these maps are just kind of, it's almost like the same thing over and over again. For an example, Genesis on this map, great map, like Genesis. But if you go back to MW3 and you go back to Ghost, there's two maps, one being Strike Zone, and that was on Ghost, and Dome from MW3. It's the same map, just different structures on the map. Where's the creativity? You know, and it's trying to be innovative. I get it. You know, tried to do a lot of bit of changes, but where? What are the changes? Wall Run came in from Black Ops 3. That's not new. The specialists and the payloads, whatever, that came from Black Ops 3. That's not new. The double jumping, that's been in games for a long time. So where is the creativity? Now, I know they put a ton of time in the campaign. Campaign's like one and done. You play it once, you beat it. Me personally, I don't even play it. I don't want to come off as wrong, because I'm no game developer, no designer. I'm sure it takes an extensive amount of work and time into every little thing that we see on this map, everything. So I don't want to take away from nobody and say like it's a lack of effort. I'm sure it takes a lot of time and effort just to creativity, you know, and that was one of the things that gamers had an issue with before was, you know, a lot of people were kind of complaining every time Call of Duty came out. It was just another Call of Duty. It was the same game, different name. It's one of those things, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. And yeah, they changed it. This is what we got now. And can it be corrected? You know, will a lot of people start to come back? Because you, like I said, there's a huge drop off from it. There really is. And I don't know how bad it's affecting them. Probably not, because these microtransactions are in there, which kind of keeps that balance. So which brings me on to one more thing I just wanted to talk about. And, you know, like I said, I can go on and on and on. And I just wanted to get some of my thoughts out there, some of my views, and also just wanted to hear some of yours. So the last thing I kind of wanted to get on was the score streaks. Now, score streaks, kill streaks, whatever you want to call them. And I know there's plenty of people out there that don't like them, period. They don't even think they should be in the game. But for me, that's a big part of Call of Duty. If you don't like kill streaks, then why not go to Battlefield? You know, Battlefield's a great game. It really is. I'm not going to take away from it. But Call of Duty, for me, it's fun getting kills, setting on that high score streak, and, you know, seeing if you can get it. And then if you can get it, it better be worth it. These streaks really are not worth it. Now, in my opinion, if you go back, I think that's where you'll find the best kill streaks ever in this game. MW2, Black Ops 1, and Modern Warfare 3. Greatest streaks. Some of them, you know, give or take a couple of in there, but, you know, the Reaper from MW3, the Pavlo MW2 or MW3, the Chopper Gunner from Black Ops 1, the SR-71 or Blackbird from Black Ops. I can go on and on and on. Those streaks were great. These ones, just like the weapons, there's not even a handful that are even worth using. Yeah, UAV's effective, counter UAV, that's just basic stuff. I'm talking about like kill streaks. Maybe part of the problem is some of these other movements and how advanced the game's got, that, you know, if you go putting in these crazy streaks or better streaks, whatever, it will cause the game to not run properly. I don't know. I'm not a developer, but I would prefer if you take some of this other stuff out, and better maps, better streaks for me would definitely, you know, than wall running or double jump. But there are only a few things that I touched on. There's definitely plenty more things. There are just a couple of things I wanted to touch on and go over some of my things, and, you know, give you guys leave some comments and let me know what you think. And, you know, really there's a lot of things. There's plenty of more, but there's some of the main things for me anyway, in my opinion, and that's just the microtransaction and how that works. I'm not a fan of that at all. The maps, the layout of the maps, the feel of the maps, and the weapons, you know, there's not enough balance. There's just not enough balance in this game. And the score streaks, I'd really like to see like more creative, just fun streaks, man. I think really honestly for me, if we got back to more realistic maps, you know, and streaks and weapons, realistic weapons, some of the older, you know, let's go back a little bit. Take it back, take a step down, see how it goes. One thing I do like about the newer Call of Duties is the pace of the game, the fast, how quickly you can get from one place to another. So I hope somehow, you know, they can kind of get back to boots on the ground, but still have some of the speed that is in here, you know, because going back to playing some of the other Call of Duties as opposed to playing these newer ones, you definitely notice a huge difference in the momentum and the pace of the game, you know, which I do like that. I really do. That's one of the things that's great about the newer Call of Duties. So somehow, if they can kind of incorporate those things for me, you know, let's get back to some realistic maps, great score streaks, some weapons, and a nice weapon selection, and just but keep that speed, you know. Is that possible? Yeah, of course. Why not? Bump up the guys, make them run a little bit faster, you know. That's all. And you could probably still keep some of these specialists, but get rid of the specialists, the payloads that like the claw. You know, the claw is just absolutely ridiculous. Anybody can just shoot at somebody with that thing and they're done. You know, have them have just abilities. Like, fine, the active camo is cool, the overdrive, that's cool. Some of these other things like the perception, where, you know, your screen lights up yellow if somebody looks at you. You don't even know where this guy is, but your screen lights up yellow, and that's ridiculous. And you can tell some of these things are ridiculous because that's why they're not in competitive. Because if they're not okay in competitive, then they're really not good. People in pubs don't really like them neither. That's going to about wrap it up for me in this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to hit that like button. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments section your thoughts, your comments on what went wrong with COD. You know, what went wrong for you and what can be fixed. Will you be back? As always, thanks for watching. Till next time, Animals, it's your boy Hype. We out.